Well, then what happened? Because before any of this, the fire service used smooth bore nozzles.
Right.
And then this huge thing happened with fog streams. So then, if you take into context what those fellas did and what they wrote, somewhere down the line, something has been bastardized.
No doubt about it.
Because now we have taken those lines and those applications from doing the indirect method and the combination method, and we've brought those inside, which all three of those individuals that wrote those books and did those studies said that was something that we didn't want to do because of the risk of steam burns to interior firefighters.
Now, that was their original context that they came up with for the fog nozzle, but it's kind of like a lot of things happen in the fire service. That was the beginning of something that became much greater. And I would agree. I mean, I'm looking at the three books that have been written and what they've said there, that is certainly true. But the fire service has adapted from that to be able to use the fog nozzle in a safe environment. Can it be used unsafe? Sure, and it happens a lot. I really think that goes back to lack of training or lack of understanding of how and what the fog nozzle exactly would be used. But really, if you go back and even if you look at Chief Layman's first experiment, and we call it an indirect attack, but truthfully, if you look at it by definition, it's more of a direct attack than a smoothbore would be. In that those water droplets, when converted to steam, we all know the basic principle of steam conversion, convert 1,700 times. But when that happens, then that steam is able to penetrate in locations that a straight stream of water would not be able to hit. It's able to get into crevices and around, as long as you use the correct amount of water to make the steam conversion.
So what you're saying is those little drops of water, if I'm at the interior door of a room and contents fire, and I open up that fog nozzle and the seat of the fire is on the back, and I open up that fog nozzle, but those little drops of water are going to get there before my smoothbore would?
It would,
because evaporation is going to take place much sooner
right.
with a fog stream.
I understand what you're saying, and really that comes back to our fire dynamics. Where's the fire at? There's so many other parameters that go into place here. But if we take a room and contents fire, if you take the experiments that he looked at, the size rooms that he was, and that was what he called it was a confined space or confined box fire. And really when we look at our residential structure fires, or most of what we respond to, they really are confined space fires in that, it's compartmentalized. When we have areas that it's not compartmentalized, when things are wide open, then a fog nozzle at times may not be the best practice. And I can certainly understand a smooth bore there. But if you think of the practicality of the first research that was done, and you take the water stream and you're able to apply it in that confined room or semi-confined room, as long as there is at least, I think his direct quote was 75% of the wall surface is still intact and sealing. So you can have up to a quarter of the wall out of the way. But in looking at that, the steam conversion that will take place in that room will go everywhere in that room.
Correct. And where else is it going?